मनी चल गया। ए चलो भाई, just give some time for people to join. Meanwhile, let me quickly get onto the trading view. I will just share the link as well. Let me quickly share it with the group as well. Hey, hi. Hi, Nagraj. I think we have Chelu, we have Anshuman. Okay, let's give 2-3 minutes and then I'll start with my analysis on how I'm expecting this market to behave now. Okay, should we start or should we just wait? Okay, let me quickly. Yeah, we have 14 odd people. Uh, Let me quickly start without wasting time, right? So, what did I mention yesterday in my video? If you see, right, this particular wicks right from here. So, if you see, right, these wicks and this particular wick top, right, is what I had chosen as a good area for me to go short. I'll just zoom in slightly so that you guys are able to see the screen. This was the target that we were expecting, right? Somewhere here, right? 43,030, 43,050 was the target we were expecting. Now, what did the market go do, right? Market simply put, when you have a strong bearish move, right? There is a setup. I'm just taking out these trend lines so that it makes it easy for reading purpose, right? Now, in the first 5 minutes, I am looking at a big bearish candle which gets formed. I'll just take out volume as well here just to avoid avoid any inconvenience, right? So this is part of one of the setups that we have, right, wherein we are looking at a volume. I change this timing to, sorry, this is a new trading view account, so that is where there is an issue. Istanbul I could see somewhere. Hmm, sorry guys. So this is the first candle, right? Now I was hoping for a big sweep candle to be formed here. So there is a setup that we trade, right, on the smart money concept wherein your daily candles are bullish. Then what you are trying to see, आप देख रहे हैं कि वहां पे कोई आपको एक बेरिश कैंडल मिलता है क्या? इस केस में हमें कोई बेरिश कैंडल नहीं मिला. So my expectation here is I am trying to see if there is a if I'm getting any bearish candle which closes below the previous day closing. So where was the pre-closing? Previous day closing was here, right? This level. I am just shading it in a different color to make it easy for people to go through, right? Right now we are just focused on Bank Nifty. There was a bearish candle. It closed below this. What was the other confirmation that we had? The other confirmation was there is a trend line liquidity here, right? I am trying to connect major points, right? So this is where I would, it's a breakdown, right? It's a breakdown and there is a retest of the breakdown is where I would take a trade, right? If I look at it, this is the place where I would initiate my short trade. This is any which is below the closing line. This is where I would initiate my short trade. And this one gave a decent move from 42,956 to 42,810. Now, why am I not looking at any big targets here? The reason is simple. If you see, right, this, do you see how many places have taken? So you have 2 weeks here, third week here, fourth week here. When it was consolidating, right, till this candle I was hoping that it will actually break the lows, right? I was hoping it would break the lows, but when this candle started forming right here, this candle started forming the bullish candle and went on the higher end of the range. I kind of felt that it may break out, right? So then I was looking for a range trade. Unfortunately, by the time I caught, as in by the time this level moved out, right, I did not see a good trade here. So from 950 to 43.20, right, that was the only point that we had. Hence, I did not give this CE trade. Now, where am I looking at shorting the market, right? So this sweep which has formed, right, now market is continuously testing this. So today, right, I think more or less, right, they will trap every trader who is trying to enter long, right? They will trap all the traders. Now from here, the good chance, right, is market can continue to trade in between this zone. You have 1 hour, right, and we'll wait for a live setup, and probably sometime around the first half tomorrow, right, Tuesday rather, not tomorrow, you may see a move down like this, right? Probably we may see a move down, or if it continues consolidating on the higher end of the range, then we may have to see if there is any, um, is it trying to trade towards the higher side or not, right? So, um, where am I looking at shorting? If you see this trend line is, so again, the same concept, you have a sharp trend line liquidity, right? I am looking at shorting below these levels. I have given 42,920 as a good range for me to short. Once it comes below 42,920, I will take a short trade for the targets of 42,750. Will it happen immediately or not is not known, right? So this is the story of Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty, ideally, if I would have been in front of system, I think I was trying for a live YouTube session then. I could not do. I would have taken a small long trade here, right? A very small long trade. Rather, I would have preferred to short call the put premium, right? Coming to Nifty, Nifty, I think the story is slightly easy to interpret, right? So you have again, okay, Nifty. If you see, right, this candle formed closed above the closing candle. So there is Nifty was in fact a buy on dip, and I had suggested a breakout. So I said Bank Nifty could open gap down, but Nifty clearly was a buy on dip for me. It was not a sell on rise for me, and I was looking at a target. I think this will touch 18,000 today, right? So this again Nifty I did not trade because I was not seeing major movement happening today. But Nifty per our videos also was a buy on dip, and I had suggested this dip, right, to be used to buy. I said if it gaps up, do not again put trade, do not take it with big quantity, but see if you get, right, you will get it somewhere around a trend line, and our trend lines were drawn somewhere here, right? We were looking at a trade around trend line. It's taken a support exactly around trend line and this breakout level, and it has gone up. Nifty was a long for me, right? Why was Nifty long? If you read my morning message, right, I said there was a surprise in store for every one of us. The data was negative. The US GDP data, jobless claims was negative, right? Yet what happened? The Nasdaq shares, right? The bigwigs, Meta, Comcast, Amazon, and Amazon results came post the market hours, but Dow Jones futures rallied because of Amazon. But Meta, Comcast, Alphabet, right? The results came during the market hours, and Meta results were very good, right? In fact, the stock has rallied 13.4%. So yesterday, between Dow Jones in within Dow Jones, the Nasdaq components, right, the IT components have actually gone super high, and that is what triggered the rally in Dow Jones. If you see after 9:15, right, in the night time, IST, the Dow Jones has actually rallied from 500 to 930, the futures, right? And that is where I personally felt that Nifty could, because of the support of IT and or the earnings season which is going on, right? I think if I'm not mistaken, today we had between yesterday and today we had at least 41 companies which are going to deliver result, right? So then this definitely was going to be bullish, right? On Nifty. Nifty, the chart was clean, right? Bank Nifty, I had an issue. Bank Nifty, I was also looking at a short, right? Guys, any question on Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis? Nifty, again, don't look at a short. Nifty is buy on dip. In fact, Nifty has got a great support now here. If it comes to 17,960, you can again opt for a long trade. Do not try to short this particular chart, right? Guys, any question you guys can put the chat so that I can get the sense of whether there are any queries that you guys have on these two charts. Should I move forward with the stock picks that we had done? Okay, I will go to the Wipro and TechM chart next. Okay, Wipro, we had clearly said it's a long, right? Unfortunately, the level did not trigger, but the results were fantastic. I was hoping that we may get a buy around 374 levels. Some of them, sorry, what is the reason for taking, Nanda, reason for taking the short trade on Bank Nifty? Nanda, the question, okay, what is the reason for taking the short trade on Bank Nifty? Bank Nifty, right? Let me just go back to the chart. Bank Nifty, right? On again, go back to the daily analysis, right? Bank Nifty, if you see from a daily standpoint, there is a thick resistance here, right? In fact, I will try and do a long-term analysis on Bank Nifty, but if you see, there is a trend line liquidity created here, right? There was a trend line liquidity which was being created here. Now, when the trend line liquidity got created, as the trend line breakout happened, we were expecting one round of selling, right? So you have immediate blocks where you can sell, right? This was the immediate block where we could have sold. Market actually pierced through this area, right, without any resistance. After that, these all are decisional places where we have to make a decision, right? Now, market went up, so this is a decisional place where, given the first candle was a sweep, first candle has not hit the stop loss. I kind of don't agree. The first candle, right? In fact, I'd said from 43,050, sell C, or if you get below the closing candle buy P. That has given a neat 70-80 point movements in P, and C sell has given 150 odd points. The second one, right, that I took around 187, that definitely hit the SL, and I will explain the logic on why I took the second one, right? So the second one, when it went up, right, the logic was this closing candle was pierced down, right? So I was expecting a resistance here, this place, right? This place I was expecting a resistance here, and from here I was expecting a fall till 42,730, right? So this is the logic of taking the trade. The idea is there is a strong closing candle, market opened gap up, created a big bearish candle below, which pierced through the closing candle. Now once it's going up for the first time, the closing area, which if the market would have taken the support in the morning, would have continued to be a support. Now given the area has been taken out, it's a area for me to focus on shorting, right? So that is the reason of taking the trade there. Second one hit the SL. After that, there is no trade which has got triggered, right? Why the option premium falls down initially, Rohit? The reason the option premiums typically, so in the first 5 minutes, first 3 minutes, right? The option premiums are the highest because many traders looking at pre-open market, there is a setup on pre-open market which many people use, which combines volume and the news, right, that has happened in the market post the closing. So basis the trading in the global markets, right? There is a news. So generally what happens due to that demand, right? Heavy demand, people tend to punch in a lot of orders. Basis that, right? The premiums in the opening minutes are very high. Once it hits a certain level, the option sellers kick in. They cool off the VIX and implied volatility of that option premium to actually take advantage of the high premiums there. Yeah. If there are no questions, we will go to the stock picks, right? So I'll come to Wipro. I think we have given a call option as well, which many people would had uh, got benefit of. Call option was given by Mahesh, not by me. So again, you can thank him. But if you see, right, Wipro price action, again, I'm getting into a daily chart, right? Do you see this? There is a falling pattern here. There is a falling, and this is starting 2020, right? So Wipro was trading at its multi-year lows, right? If you see this area, it had taken a support. Now these are all decisional points where you don't enter immediately, right? These are all decisional points where you don't enter immediately. The market has tried, market is, in my yesterday's video, I said it's trying to form a W. So if you get it at a W point, right? Ideally, I would have loved for it to come down to 374 and go back up, right? Jigar, I'll come back to you with PCBL. I tried finding the stock. I could not see it, right? Just ping me what is the ticker ID, because I could not see it on the NSE. I think it's a BSE traded stock. I could not find it on NSE, right? So at 374, I was hoping this would come and then go up. My targets, right? Unfortunately, I've hit before it even triggers the gets active, right? Now, what is the next action that we are expecting in Wipro, right? And if you see, there is a steep trend line which is coming here, right? This kind of is invalid for me now because there are no points that I can, as in, this has basically this A, the trend line should not be so steep. B, right? This work has been done, it's consolidating in a very narrow range between 420 to 350, right? On a longer term time frame, if you actually look weekly and monthly charts, this is now started to consolidate, right? If you actually try and see now, once the Wipro stock, right, consolidates in this band, now I think it will start trading towards the higher end of the range. I'm taking out this box just to make it clear for you guys, right? Once it starts consolidating around these areas, right, the next level that it could hit is 413 to 420 and 445, right? So Wipro, for all practical purposes, now looks like the base has been done. Given today has been a big bullish candle post the result, I think we'll have to monitor it for a week. But May series, right, in the second half, if there is a dip towards 374, here we can attempt buying an option again for the May series to hit higher targets, right? Getting on to Kotak, again, Kotak, right, we had been, yeah, Kotak, we had clearly said this is consolidating around the resistances. Actually, if you see, right, this trend line breakout had happened. This gap up was due to that news which had happened, right, where they announced there is an MSCI rebalancing which is going to happen, right? So this huge gap up here, right, has actually distorted the chart. But this, for all practical purposes, now looks like a runaway gap, right? So this will continue to hold. At this point of time, I think someone had bought Kotak Mahindra CE. I think they would have made fantastic returns. It's time to encash your Kotak has a result. I think Saturday or Monday. I don't recollect the date. Kotak has a result. It will move during result. After that, there is a possibility of a dip. If it goes higher and comes back, right, at these levels. So right now it's in a no trade zone for people who are holding it from down. They can continue holding it. Um, Once this post result, right, if it opens up and then starts consolidating here in a narrow range, you can take it. My targets on Kotak are 2015, this 2050 levels, right? And next target could be somewhere it could hit the all-time highs, right? Um, the rebalancing is pegged for 15th May, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'll come back to you guys with the date. But once the rebalancing is done, during the there will be one up move during rebalancing, right? Because it's a big amount, as in from percentage standpoint, right, I think Kotak is going to be 5.6%. So weightage will move. So there is going to be a big heavy movement then. Before that movement, to get people out of the trade, the Kotak Kotak share, right? I am expecting after the earning season, right? I am expecting a small dip here. So I think use that dip wisely. You can buy in cash market to see if it gives you the desired result. For people who are holding the options, I think it has given the good result, right? I will get on to Maruti. Maruti again, if you see, right, it's a funny chart actually. It created a base below, right? Post that, if you see continuously, right, it's opening up, selling comes, and then again the buying comes. If you recollect, I had said either gap down, or if it comes back to test the areas of 8540 and 8550, you can go ahead and again enter. My targets here are 8620, 8600 and 8720, right? I've given targets somewhere in that range. Just look at the exact numbers there in the analysis video. But I am looking at a good up move in Maruti. Maruti result has been done during result season, I think 4 5 days prior, right? It witnessed a sharp fall. During result, it again went up slightly. But basis the price action on the chart, right, looks like it can give you a decent up move, right? Next we'll come to Tech Mahindra. Anyone traded Tech Mahindra? I said either buy. So Tech Mahindra has fallen, taken a support. So where it opened, right, I said it's a short. I think it has given our targets, and from there it has gone up. Let me see in 15 minutes what happened. Don't tell me it's an open low. Yeah, it's an open low, so I don't think our setup also triggered here. Um, Again, I am not looking at any buy in Tech Mahindra right now. In fact, if I get another opportunity, right, somewhere below this level, I would again look at shorting this security. Below this level, let it come down in the range. I think this is a reaction to trap people after the news, right? The stock is clearly in a bearish mode. If you actually see this one, all there is a runaway gap, right? There is a runaway gap here. The stock has been consolidating at the bottom levels. I was hoping that once this closing candle, right, if it opens flat, right, you would get these targets. The targets have been met, but the trade never got executed there, right? This one, don't attempt to buy it now. There is some negativity associated with the way the results have been announced, right? The rest of the IT pack is doing well, but this one will be sluggish and slow for some time. Either wait for these levels to be, so there is a trend line created here, wait for it to consolidate between 1036 and 1060, then you can look at it. But again, I personally feel this stock may not come for buying till end of May or mid June, right? I'm still looking at one round of selling to be followed in this share. I will go to this particular PCBL. Okay. Is this the Jigar? Is this the one? Jigar, is this the stock or says, I think this is, yeah, it doesn't throw up actually. It didn't throw up the name as well. Okay, let me look at this stock. It's actually in a channel. It's in a narrow channel. It's in a channel right now. So I think it took support around, yeah, it took a support around this level, and from there it has been going up, right? Mm-mm-mm. Jigar, if you have bought it around this level, right, 118, 119, then you can hold till 132. right? This area, I think it should give some resistance, but I'm assuming this one would be a cash market pick for you to, as in you would have taken it from a long-term standpoint, right? The chart overall looks good, but around 130 to 135, it will face resistance, right? I did not track this because I don't think this one I have ever tracked it. But yeah, you can hold it for 130 to 230. Coming to Infi, so Infi, Dushyant, again, I had kept it in my radar. I had bought this one around these levels, right? 1,350 at this gap down, right? I think I had to give up. I have given it out, right? Because more than 5% of stop loss, right? In cash market, it gave. I had personally bought it at these levels, right? 1,360. I was hoping this support will hold true, right? This entire range, it had given a support couple of times, and third time when it came here, I had bought it at this point of time in March, and I had hoped during result season this will go up. At this point of time, if you see, this stock is actually trading below its critical support levels, right? You will have to, as in, if it's there in the, yeah, if you are looking at it from a longer time frame, right? As in, if you're holding it positionally, then you can continue holding. It's a great company, right? It'll just have to weather the storm right now, which all the IT companies are going through, right? So in fact, if you read the commentary of Wipro also, Delaport, right, their CEO clearly said that there is some headwinds, but client retention is not a problem, right? I personally feel this one can continue to trade in a narrow range, and sometime around July, right, this one can actually start taking June, July. I think July, right? More realistically. So if it hits the resistance once, it will come down, consolidate. Sometime around July, I would expect some action in this. Right now, if you see it's below all the supports, I would not touch this stock for some time. In IT pack, right, you have better. I think TCS was the chart was better than this. So I picked up TCS from a swing trading standpoint. Yeah. We'll look at HDFC AMC. Rao sir, again from positional standpoint, right? You have it from a swing or positional standpoint, as in for a long term basis. Okay, let me just look at this chart. Um, if you see, right, this support was taken out, this was swept out, right? This candle is, wait, this is a good candle formed, right? These two candles, one and two, this is a good candle formed. I would at this point of time wait for some sort of confirmation between these two levels, right? For me to actually go long on HDFC AMC, right? The whatever I think negative news would have been there, right? As I think now more or less been absorbed. So if it comes down to these levels, right, on the second touch, I would like to buy it for going long. Obera Realty, wait. Obera Realty, you asked. I think last time you had taken it long. If I don't. Obera Realty, I think the short is already done. It's a hold pattern. It's a hold pattern. So if you see, right, I think you had gone long here, Ubera Realty. Okay, Ubera Realty is in a hold pattern. I think if you see, right, this is the swing that the stock has created, right? There is a proper swing which has been created here. Confirm. Yes, there is a swing which has been created. Okay, so this high was taken out. This one has been induced. Okay, this is a new swing, right? You have a new swing. Right now, it's in an inside swing. If you see, right, this has given nearly 78% correction has happened, right, on the stock. Right now, it's trading in between. Anywhere, if you get between these two places, it's a good buy. See, here, right, it's a good buy. but again, I won't prefer right now. I don't think I would like to short this stock. If you're looking at a swing shooting star here, right, it's actually formed exactly in between the swing above 50%. It's at a very small premium. I don't think it's a good idea to short this stock. Why so less premium in Bank Nifty at the start of the new series? Simple, VIX is very low. See, I'll just try and open the, just give me a minute. I think it should go through. I'm just opening the option chain here. This one is better um, because you get to see everything at one go. So you look at the implied volatilities, right? So put side the implied volatility. So again, typically, right, at the during the current week, the implied volatility of any stock, right, and in a 13 to 14 week scenario, right, typically it would be between 20 to 24, right, depending on if there are any events or not, right. Right now, if you see the ITM strikes, right, call side IV is 9, put side IV is 12, right. Given these two scenarios and you couple it with low VIX, right, there is no interest from market participants to take it anywhere apart from decaying the options, right. So, Kamlesh sir, I think the primary reason for the premium movement is going to be very sluggish for some time because of this reason. Till the IV levels actually shoot out, right? We won't see we won't see a major movement. Again, VIX is low. In our group, someone asked the question, how low can a VIX go? In my mind, VIX can go as low as 7 to 8, right? So historically, VIX has gone as low as 6 as well. Generally, what happens, the market participants, right, the moment VIX hits 10.8 to 11, they start buying premiums, put premiums from a long term standpoint. So last time, I think when it hit 11, right, it went back to 16, 17. There was a decent fall in the market. uh, it has happened 2 or 3 times now. I am expecting a trap this time. Till the price actually suggests a fall, right, I would say that don't blindly short the market right now. Yes, it's at a resistance. Intraday standpoint, yes, but positional shorting right now is not advisable. Had it stayed stuck around at 42,000, which was the budget candle high, I would have taken a short. In fact, I was looking at shorting between 41,800 to 42,200. That level actually pierced through, and at this point of time, market has never gone back and shown those levels also. Even 42,080 का दर्शन नहीं हुआ है. तो मुझे अभी लग रहा है कि हमको वेट करना चाहिए मार्केट के में फॉल के लिए, राइट. In a low premium kind of series, right, reduce your quantity. um, you may, so I generally prefer taking two trades, right, with 1% stop loss. If the first two trades hit the stop loss, I come out of the market. In a low premium kind of scenario, right, or stop losses also you can keep narrow. So you can reduce your risk just by narrowing your stop loss, right? So rather than keeping a 1% stop loss, think of a 0.5 to 0.7% stop loss and try to take three trades. Be disciplined when your first three trades hit a stop loss, right? Come out of the market because it is going to be very, very painful. Market will not give a movement, right? Does this make sense? Okay, coming back to our Bank Nifty stocks, Bank Nifty, sorry, chart. Now in the 15-minute, right, if you see, and this particular thing, right, will not give you any movement anywhere. So right now it is not giving any movement both sides, right. I am just taking out all the I'm taking out all the drawings. So this has not pierced the opening candle, right? And it's not broken the trend line. So either sides, right? It is not giving any movement for us to enter the trade. Um, if you observe the chart very carefully, right, there is a very steep trend line, right, which has got created in Bank Nifty, which is telling us one thing: Bank Nifty is stretched. If you measure the angle, right, a very steep trend line, right. Tuesday being a Fin Nifty expiry day, right, if you get this Bank Nifty to somewhere consolidate in this range in the first half, the second half, right, could give you a decent trade below 42,800, right, to hit these levels. कुछ ये type का structure can be made in Bank Nifty, through which you can take a Fin Nifty trade. Shorting only below this level. The reason is this has this level, right, which was a breakout earlier. There was a sweep candle. It came down, but it's again. So this becomes my flip zone. ये फ्लिप जोन पे अगर गैप डाउन भी ओपन होता है, यहाँ पे रेंज बना देना, रेंज ब्रेकडाउन का वेट करना, इसके नीचे ही ट्रेड लेना, ठीक है। इसके नीचे ही अगर आप ट्रेड लोगे तो ही आपके लिए बेनिफिशियल होगा, वरना थोड़ा ट्रिकी हो सकता है, थोड़ा डाइसी हो सकता है, ठीक है। व्हाट एल्स? Anyone up for gold analysis? Let me pick up the gold chart because that is something which is uh, giving very volatile move every day. So gold yesterday I was anticipating a move till this level. The these 2008 तक का मेरा expectation था, अगर ये 2008 पे आता I would have definitely gone short. It did not come down to my short level. In fact, it gave a trend line liquidity sweep. अगर आप देखेंगे यहाँ से एक ट्रेंड लाइन लिक्विडिटी स्वीप जरूर दिया, ठीक है। यहाँ पे आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ होल्ड. इफ यू रिमेंबर आई हैड गिवन अ लॉन्ग आफ्टर द इवेंट वंस इट स्टार्टेड स्टेबलाइजिंग हियर, राइट. आई हैड लुक्ड एट अ लॉन्ग, मैंने यहाँ पे 1982 पे दिया था इस लेवल. Once it had started stabilizing, I had given a long here. It quickly, first time it gave the profit, second time it came and hit the stop loss, right. This entry then I did not take because I was unsure of it, right. Yeah, Nanda, you can open. But again, speak with Rohit and understand. Rohit trades in standard account, so he knows that standard account has a spread. I trade in raw spread. Raw spread, you have to upfront put more money, but I think the spread is low, so trading becomes easy from a long-term standpoint. Just understand the pros and cons of both before you open your account. At this point of time, people who look at these big candles, which are also known as master candles, they typically tend to take the target upside. But for me, right, this particular gold chart, right, at this point of time, there is no significant till it's trading continuously in the discount itself, right. One good trade which can happen probably between today and Monday is somewhere here. If I get a trade, right, and I'll try to refine this block, ये यहाँ पे कहीं पे अगर आते मुझे एक बुलिश कैंडल बना रहा है, आई वुड लाइक टू टेक अ ट्रेड ऑन द लॉन्ग साइड. आई एम जस्ट टेकिंग आउट दिस फिबोनाची level. The reason for me going long very simply is, if you see, there is a trend line liquidity being created here, right. ये दो से I can only create a trend line, third time it can come and touch, but this particular point has been, this particular trend line looks good because when there was event and there was a news, right, आज बैंक ऑफ जापान का भी था, this trend line has actually hold firm. So if you see, right, there is a trend line liquidity which is being created here. If it comes down once, creates a sweep candle here, sometime in the evening session, right, I think around 7 o'clock the market opens, you may get a sharp pullback. There will be a liquidity sweep for the targets which can go as high as this level. राइट. इसके अंदर टारगेट क्या, टारगेट बहुत ही बड़ा है, ये 5 पॉइंट का टारगेट है. ये जोन 5 पॉइंट का है. सो यू मे हैव टू ट्रेल अग्रेसिवली. योर ट्रेलिंग actually has to begin from. So market will come. The way I am envisaging this trade is it may come, it may consolidate here. फॉरेक्स में ना एक और एक नियम क्या होता है कि दो सेशन एक डायरेक्शन में जाते हैं, बाकी एक सेशन अलग डायरेक्शन में जाता है, राइट. सो जब दो एक सेशन आपका कंसोलिडेट होके अप गया है, यूरोप सेशन इज फॉलिंग, न्यूयॉर्क सेशन could tie back to Asia or the London session, right? If it consolidates and goes up, then you may have to look at this particular um, movement. Right? Utkarsh, let me look at Bank Nifty chart. My short has not triggered. I don't think I would be entering CE. Okay, it has gone up, but I am not looking at entering CE here. Right? The simple reason is of the resistances upside. I don't think I am looking at it. A good CE trade, if I would have been in front of system, was here 42,900. That was a good CE trade. Given that never triggered, right? There was no point of entering. यहाँ से it will be very difficult. Right? It was trading on the higher end of the spectrum. So once it consolidates, right, at the higher end of the spectrum, see the simple thing, right? Whenever you are looking at taking a trade, right, in the second half, and again, I have been saying this in my videos repeatedly. Always look at where the market is trying to take a pass, right? When I say take a pass, where the market is trying to do time pass, right? So this range which got formed in the opening hour, right? Has market ever come back to take this lows out? No, it has consolidated down. So what is it saying? It has formed a good base, right? Once it's formed a good base, um, I was naturally looking at a resistance here, right? 42,950. This resistance also, it formed a trap candle and it actually went up. Now if you see, right, market is continuously trading above 0.5, right? 0.5 is this level. Market is continuously trading above 0.58, between 0.6 and 0.78. So till it, if you see my short levels of 42,920, it never triggered those levels. I was not looking at any shorting opportunity. Consolidation at the top, typically in the last 1 hour, right, signifies that market may go long. I think this one has given a breakout retest, breakout trade. I did not enter the trade because I was not convinced with the move. So I am personally not taken it, but I see Bank Nifty has gone long. Anyone who would have entered here, right, given it's a single candle in 5 minutes of 160 points, would have made 80 to 90 points easily in the option. I was not convinced, so I did not take the trade. We'll see which component. I think Kotak would have moved. In my mind, I can see Kotak as being a good chart. Sorry, this is BSE. No, it's not Kotak. So what has moved? Oh, Axis. So again, go back to the analysis video. What did I say? If Axis opens gap up, this will come down. Now, if you kind of try and correlate, right? Same thing happened with HDFC. Same thing happened with ICICI. Same pattern, right, has repeated with Axis, right? If you see, it opens gap up and then shows a sharp fall, stabilizes in the last half. HDFC also recovered, ICICI also recovered, and now I think Axis is also recovering, right? So during the earning season, guys, just try and keep a tab on how the bellwether of that particular thing, right, is working. Typically, that bellwether, right, would follow, as in everyone else will follow the same pattern, right, until and unless there is some negativity. So Axis, clearly in our analysis we had said, if it opens gap up, it will form a candle similar to HDFC where it will keep continue falling. I'll see ICICI. The chart looked best to me. ICICI, Kotak and SBI, right? They are looking very good on the charts, right? ICICI, okay, from ICICI is recovering. I think it has to be SBI and then, yeah, it's SBI. SBI has given a clear breakout. No, it's less the others. I think it's SBI which is actually propelling this rally, 571 to 577, right? The others have just recovered, but SBI has actually never come down. It's actually shot up. HDFC could have been another bank which could have supported the move, but HDFC has also recovered completely. So all the other banks have recovered completely from their fall, but SBI has actually continued their breakout. But if you see Axis, ICICI, they just came back and retested their opening levels. HDFC has actually broken out of these levels. So yeah, that is about it. But again, this long, right? If again you are in front of system, you can take it. Given I was not in front of system throughout the day, now when I've come back, it's difficult to enter these longs. So guys, any other stocks that you guys would like me to pick or discuss? Okay, from a setup standpoint, right, I wanted to use this session to discuss an important setup, right, and I have been talking about it for Bank Nifty for several days. I don't know how many of you all have observed it during the, sorry, wow, this is too good a movement. See premiums, and again, I always say market is always opened by amateurs and closed by professionals. So this bullish candle, right, is actually uh, very good for the market. I think I'm surprised pleasantly, but cool. It's a miss. It's a miss. Typically, institutional buying, yes. I don't think it's a short covering because there's beginning of a new series. Typically, I always look at the buying in the last hour, right, is typically considered very good. So, and generally, if you see, right, breakouts which happen after 220, right, they are generally supposed to be very good for the markets. And your premiums typically move very fast. I know today is Friday, but people who would have taken a CE around breakout, right, would have made fantastic money. Yeah, look at Ipca Labs also. Could yeah, Utkarsh, it could be in my mind. I'm seeing this as the institutional buying. This is not short covering. This is definitely institutional buying. For me, the problem was here, right? I was continuously seeing resistances. It has actually gone up. So, coming to a very interesting setup, right? I have spoken about this setup several times in my videos, right? Um, I trade it many times, right? So, whenever market is in an uptrend or downtrend, right? Right now, market is in an uptrend, so you will see all the bullish trades, right? Whenever market is in an uptrend, you always mark the highs and lows of the opening candle or opening hour, right? So people take opening range breakout as one of the strategies, right? This is a small variation to it. Now in an up, generally you mark these range, right? This is your opening candle. Now all price action which is happening within it, right, is an inside swing. I'm just trying to decouple this area. All price action which is happening within this is an inside swing here, right? Till this, so you take a, as in you assume this to be one trade. Here I had personally taken a put, right? If you guys remember, I had personally given a put and I had enjoyed put premium. But if you start seeing now, zoom down into a 5 minute chart, what is the 5 minute chart telling you? It's gone up, it's come down, right? What is it formed? It has not taken out the low, it's formed a higher low, inside swing, higher low, again since it's not taken out the high, it's inside swing, a higher low, right? Now here there are two possibilities that you can see in the chart. So if you connect the major swings here, right? So this is one, this is two. So you have 2 points to connect. This is the third point and fourth point, right? This entire area is a point. If market has to, so there was a gap here. I was hoping this gap will break down and you will get a trade till this level. So I was targeting 42,150 and 42,080 this day. If this trend line breaks down, do not be in a hurry to enter the trade. Market will give you an opportunity. Typically, right, consolidation is happening towards the lower end of the trend line. What happens? It goes up, it gives a leg out candle, breaks down, and then creates this, right? So the way the price action moves is you will have a move below this area, right? This area should be taken out by this move, the move which is happening here, right? This low should be taken out, but this this low should be protected, right? The first low which has been created should be protected. If this movement happens in the last 1 hour to 1.5 hours at this retest, right, you can bindas by put to go short. The same thing, right? Now if the highs are being protected, the breakout happens, you take it at a retest. Now again, this is your breakout point, this is your retest area, right? This entire area is your retest area. So similar to here, right, where I'm looking at this point to be, so breakdown is here, this a low to happen below this. If you see, the same thing is happening here. This point is within this breakout area continuously. It's not taking out the low, it's not taking out the high. Then it gives a leg out candle. At the leg out candle, right, you can then safely enter your trades. This was the safe place to enter the call, right? Given call is in the range, in the side of the trend, you enter big quantity. Puts, you enter small quantity, right? Targets typically are the swing highs. Now if you see right here, the swing high was at 42,510 and you try to take a fib level and retracement at 1.27, right? So this is your target. So if the low does not get taken out for the entire day, it's consolidating, then this is the level till which you can hold back, right, at the breakout of the range, right? This same thing, the same pattern continues. It happens on most of the days. In fact, out of 5, right, 2 to 3 days, this setup gets activated in a trending market. So if you have a bullish side, it'll keep giving you bullish trades. If you are on a bearish side, it'll keep giving you the bearish trades, right? Now look at the, in fact, yesterday, same thing happened, right? So yesterday what happened? We were on 24th, okay, 25th. If you see same thing, do you see this? It has taken a support of the swing, right? This swing has not been taken out. What is happening here around? It's consolidating. The moment the high gets taken out, what did I say? You don't enter at the breakout, you wait for the retest. Here it takes a retest, you enter long again for the, you can put the Fibonacci and then you can get your entries there, right? Yesterday, same pattern had happened. If you see, right, and this happens most of the time. So whenever you can go back on the chart and see it, it generally happens on the chart. Yesterday the same thing. If you see, this was my opening candle, right? Market gave a, went up, it came down, there was a psychological resistance here. Is it taking out the lows? No, right? I'm just taking out the trend lines. Given this is an intraday setup, I won't look at a price action beyond prior day, right? So this is here. I'm not getting 2 points to connect, so 1 2 3 right here. Now there is a logical swing here, trend line liquidity. The moment these lows are not getting taken out, so first this low should get taken out, consolidation here, then second low for me to take a trade for these levels. Given this is continuously creating a higher low and an inside swing, right? So if you see, there is a liquidity which is being created at the top. There is a liquidity here. You can expect a good breakout above, right, above this level. You typically, this setup gets activated only after 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? The reason why I'm focusing on this setup is for people who are starting options or who have made losses in options, right? This is a setup which happens midday, right, or end of the day. Be it expiry, be it non-expiry days, you would be able to enjoy good success out of this particular setup. So folks, whenever you get a chance, right, observe this in the market, mark your opening range. Depending on the long-term trend, right, you will get a good move up or down, right, and it will consolidate the lows of that candle. The moment lows of the candle are taken out, it invalidates the setup, right? But generally, out of 5 days, at least 3 days, this thing happens, and it gives you fantastic result. Now today, if you see, right, today what has happened, this is my opening candle. So I had given the same trade midday, assuming that it will take a resistance, right? Once it's again come up, right, is it taking out the opening candle? So till here, right, here I had given the trade in the noon. So Nanda, to your question, right, this is where I had given a trade. Ideally this should have taken out the opening range low. It did not, right? So it went up. Now it's continuously consolidating. Market's overall trend is bullish. Since it's consolidating on the upside, if you see, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It's inside swing, but within the swing, right? Substructure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So next, what I'm expecting is to go and take out the high, right? Typically, it's the 127% of the swing. In this case, your swing starts from here till here. I will just invert this so that you can. Yeah, this ideally I would have targeted 43 to 60. Yeah, I will. I will. Santosh, I will upload this. This setup, right? So if you look at my live analysis, right? Generally, I put this setup. I always look at this setup once. The reason why I want you guys to focus on this is for people who have not made profit, right? Trading options. This is a midday setup, right? And midday setup may volatility is less, so your ability to enter the trades is very very high, right? And what happens in the day, during the first 15-20 minutes of the day, right, put call premiums are very high. By now, right, whatever put and call premiums had to do, they would have done. uh, the only issue with this setup is office goers, right? If you are stuck in meeting, you cannot execute this because it's a midday setup. But otherwise, this setup works beautifully well. It's a midday market setup which you can trade, and you can kind of make good money out of this setup initially, and then think of doing. So beginning of day, end of day, right, setup happens, that needs more sensitive hands, a sharp mind, more fast hands, right, to execute long and short both, right? But this given consolidation, right, your premiums will be low. You would have the benefit of seeing at VWAP of the CPE prices and then make an informed decision. Out of 5, generally 60% time this setup happens. The setup accuracy also, right, you can back test, front test, right, is very high, 85 to 90%, right? And given it's in a range, you can wait out, you can see whether the range is shifting upside or downside, and then make an informed decision. The only thumb rule, guys, again is, if the trade is going in the direction of trend, take full quantity. If the trade is going against the trend, take less quantity, right? Right now the trend is bullish, the highs are shifting upside. Yes, it hit a stop loss once. If I would have not been taking the live session, I would have taken this trade on my system to go long, right? Makes sense? Any questions on this particular setup? Right? On expiry day, typically this happens during Europe opening, between 11:30 and 1:30, right? You would observe this thing, and उसके बाद एक spike up देता है. that spike will actually take your premiums at least 1.5x to 1.8x, right? And 2 to 20 के बाद एक दूसरा spike आता है which actually gives you a good, that is basis abnormal movement, right? So these are the two setups that I frequently use, right? My morning trade setup is slightly complex. I would gradually also try to teach it live to you guys, but morning trade setup, right, is slightly complex, and I don't want you guys, it's okay if you guys don't make money, but don't lose money, right now. So I would ask you guys to focus on not losing money. This is an easier setup to practice. Stop losses will be low and you will be able to make good money out of this. Yeah, folks, anything that you would want me to cover? I would close the session right now. There was one request on IPCA Labs, right? Sorry, let me just take that thing. And for people who have not made money using options, try to take this intraday setup, right? This intraday setup works well even for people with low capital. The setup works wonderfully well in stocks, right? Stocks and options both, it works wonderfully well. Options, I prefer indices, not stocks, but cash market stocks, right, it works well. You can try this setup multiple times. Initially don't try it with money, right, because you need to actually firm up your mindset before you will. IPCA Labs, Dushan Bhai, is in a, it was in a free fall, right? Wait, is it trying to take, okay, it's trying to take support at a consolidation level from 2020. Pharma stocks, right? I'm not very keen right now because pharma stocks gave good rally in 2020, 2021, right? At this point of time, it's actually trading below all the important supports it had created, right? I don't think I am looking at buying here, right? In fact, if it comes back to 752 and gives a bearish candle, I may want to short it again for the targets of 593. Thanks, Jigar. But IPCA Labs it's in a no trade zone. I am not looking. There is a fair value gap. It may come up till 757. But I need some bullish momentum. There is no confirmation right now. I will not look at entering long in this trade right now. XNES setup for freshers. So XNES as in the gold setup, or how to set up XNES? Nibu, yeah, just do one thing. Just share the, yeah, just share over WhatsApp. I will try and cover it in the next session in terms of, I think XNES setup, you are looking at gold, right? I'm not sure. I'll try and cover it, not an issue. Right? Trent, I will check quickly, Jigar. Trent was in my radar. The Trent has been in my radar from an analysis standpoint. The candle is bullish, but it's still inside. Give it some time. I think above 1400, right? I think this one should 1405, right? Above this level. 1400, 1405. It should give you a good move of 100 points. Clean move of 100 points, right? Right now is nothing. No. So I use simple price action for gold and everything. Um, Gold, so forex follows smart money better because that is where major as in institutions are lining up, right? So I prefer taking using yeah, I keep it simple, Utkarsh, right? I keep it very simple and straightforward on the charts. But for me, gold, right? Gold and forex currencies, they, because of the heavy presence of institutions, they follow a good price action, right? Technically. So I use smart money concepts there. Bank Nifty and Indian stocks, because of the lack of liquidity, right? I've seen them not, as in you have to refine those setups. What I'll do is I'll try to cover some one or two setups, as in same setups that I've taught you guys on today, right? I will try to cover it with gold once, and we will analyze a chart live in the market. I need go charting up and running. This is a new instance, as in The earlier instance of YouTube, right, I was not able to do YouTube live there. So now I have just been able to set up a YouTube live link with this new ID that I had, right? I'll try and get the apps logged in next time for you guys to go through it. Right now, if I log in, it will be a waste of time for you guys. But I'll try to cover, as in I'll keep gold in my radar for you guys to go through it, right? And in case nothing, I'll create a short. Either I'll put charts together in a PDF and share it in groups, or I'll create a short video and share it with you guys. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, separate videos for setups, right? So I have created one for expiry. I have beefed it up with example. Today is a live session. What I will do is from live session, I will try to create one video over weekend just to cover setup, right? Yeah. How XNS works, I'll take a session. I will take a session. Maybe. Yeah. So Santosh, what I'll do is I will create setups, right? I'm creating separate. If you see now, you have separate playlists there. Expiry setup playlist is there. Within playlist, there will be a subcategorization of examples within the same thing. See, the idea is you see a setup and you continuously see examples. Someone is trading using that setup and you front test it rather than back test it, right? You front test and observe it in market. So then it starts reinforcing in your mind, right? Now today I've shown you second setup. I will post a separate video on this setup. So today's live video, let it be in the live section. I will post a separate video on this setup, which is setup 2, which is a midday setup, right? Typically, where higher highs and higher lows get formed. I will try to cover 3 or 4 separate examples, two on bullish side, two on bearish side, right? So I will try and expand it through videos, and then you guys can also look at it in live market, and it will help you guys. Again, the idea is not to flood you guys with videos. The problem is the concept, right? Someone has to keep reinforcing. See, these concepts, many people are probably teaching it on YouTube, or you guys are also observing. The problem is no one is reinforcing it in your mind, right? So the idea is someone has to take it and hammer it down. You have to write it down in your trade journal several times. Only then you will be able to reinforce it back. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for everyone's time. It was great interacting with you guys. I will try to use this again from here, right? Content development becomes easy. Everyone can actually go back and refer to the content in their spare time. You can repeatedly watch it if you have not understood certain things on the chart live, right? Because that point of time when I'm teaching, I'm also talking about certain concepts, so you can see how the market actually behaved later, right? Versus what I said. So go back and review the content. Thanks everyone for your time. We'll try and post videos over weekend for you guys to actually go through some reinforcement of concepts. Yeah. Take care. Take care, guys.